He'd lawyered up and hasn't said a word since. And that's down to one man. You.
I had to treat Poole as just another patient. Immaterial of what crime he was alleged to have committed.
Immaterial? You didn't have to take Billy Jenkins home. You didn't have to try and explain to his parents what had happened to their son. You didn't have to see how something had died behind that lad's eyes.
Melody, I'd like to have a word with you about Ben Chettle.
Oh, okay.
You seem to be seeing a lot of that one patient.
Yeah, his mum's really worried.
Well, that's what mums do, especially young, inexperienced ones. Anyway, you're supposed to be doing paperwork today. If you get behind on that, it's going to have a knock-on effect on your other patients.
So I'm supposed to just ignore that there's a sick baby out there?
Yes, but is he ill, Melody? I mean, he's been seen by doctors with a lot more experience than you. None of them have found anything wrong with him.
Yeah, but, I mean, Gemma spends more time with him than anyone, so surely she's a better judge of when he's not his usual self.
But are you sure that you're just not letting her paranoia influence you?
You've been talking to Marsha Armstrong.
Had a phone call, yeah.
And did she spend 7 years training to be a doctor? Did you? No. So I think it would be better if you left the care of my patients to me. But, I mean, being as you're so interested, you may as well know that I am making an urgent referral to a paediatrician.
Okay. Well, as you say, he's your patient.
Yeah, he is.
I don't know what you mean to say.
To me, nothing. It's Billy Jenkins you owe an apology to, but somehow I don't think a simple sorry's going to cut it, do you?
OK, Jeff, you've made your point.
That doesn't change the fact that he's responsible for letting Poole go.
But without a court case, we'll never know if he was actually guilty.
I knew he was guilty the moment I looked into his eyes.
You know, there's one thing that still bothers me about that night.
What?
How you got onto Poole in the first place. He didn't have a criminal record.
He was known.
But his name never came up during the investigation.
What does it matter now? Billy Jenkins picked his photo out first time. What are you grilling me for? It's him you should be given the 3rd degree.
How long have you been a police officer?
10 years.
And have you had many complaints made against you?
Plenty. Occupational hazard. You nick a wife beater, then you're interfering with his private life. You bust a tear away for breaking his asbo, and you're breaching his human rights. If you don't get complaints, you're not doing your job.
But something went seriously wrong with Poole, didn't it?
No. No.
Why did he push your buttons?
Listen, I've dealt with all kinds of scum and I've never raised a hand to any of them.
So if it wasn't Poole, then it must have been Billy Jenkins. Did he remind you of someone?
Like who?
I don't know. You got kids? A son, maybe? Billy's age?
No. No kids. You're barking up the wrong tree.
Yeah, well, something must have happened to make you get so personally involved.
OK, I think that's enough for now.
No, you know what? I think we stop when I say so. You know, I didn't care how the injuries happened. It's immaterial to me. My treatment would have been the same, whatever. But now I care, so why don't you tell me what did happen?
Poole's an animal, that's all you need to know.
So he had it coming to him?
He should have been dealt with years ago.
Well, you took the law into your own hands?
Somebody had to.
You gave him a beating?
He was lucky to get away with that.
Jeff, I don't think you should say any more.
My only regret is that I didn't finish the job.
Not without a union rep or a solicitor present.
I was only going to bring him in. I was just going to bring him in and leave him with somebody else to interview him because I knew. I knew I shouldn't have been left in the room alone with him.
Why not?
Do you know what finally did it? I'd been with him, what, 3 hours? I went round his house, I brought him in for questioning, and I sat not 2 feet away from him. And in all that time, he didn't even recognise me. Yet his face had been haunting me for years. The reason that I know that Poole was guilty is because he did the same thing to me 15 years ago.
Julia?
Melody?
I've been thinking.
Go on.
Well, I've been here for 9 months now, and yet you still don't seem to have any faith in my abilities.
I wouldn't say that exactly.
Oh, really? Because I can't imagine you interfering with clinical decisions if it was George or Jimmy or Nick making them.
Well, they do have more experience than you.
Well, how am I supposed to get more experience if I'm not trusted? You know, maybe I should start looking for another practice where I'm treated with more respect.
I need to see Dr. Bell. Not before I've seen the practice manager.
Ah, there you are, good. Now, I'd like you to assign a proper, fully qualified GP to take over Ben's care.
Oh, don't be ridiculous.
Dr. Bell.
Look, it's none of your business. The only person who can make that decision is Gemma.
And I want you.
That's because you're as bad as each other.
Well, I'm sorry, but Dr. Bell is correct. It really does have to be Gemma's decision.
But I'm her legal guardian.
Look, if Gemma's old enough to be bringing up her own baby, I think she's old enough to make up her own mind.
Look, I know you think I'm the ogre here, but I really do have Benjamin and Gemma's best interests at heart. Oh, it's just a cough.
This baby's having breathing difficulties. Is this what happened last time?
It's worse this time.
Oh, he's stopped breathing.
No!
Ambulance.
Come to the treatment room.
Mill Health Centre. Yes. Baby, severe respiratory problems.
Why aren't you taking him to the hospital?
Ambulance is on its way. Melody?
Oh, his heart stopped.
Do something, please!
I'm doing CPR.
It's all right, Dr. Bell's doing everything she can. It's all right. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Ambulance will be here in a minute, all right? Keep going.
He can't die, not my baby.
Of course he won't die.
Oh, we've got a pulse. He's breathing.
First week at work, I looked Poole up on the police computer.
You must have been surprised to find he didn't have a criminal record.
Surprised and relieved. I thought it meant that he hadn't done it again. Billy Jenkins said that before Poole let him go, he made him clean out the camper van, get rid of any forensics that might have been left behind. That set the alarm bells ringing.
It made you do the same thing.
When I heard the case was being dropped, I couldn't handle the thought of Poole getting away with it again.
Have you told Billy Jenkins any of this?
If I just reported him, then Billy Jenkins and who knows how many others might have been saved from having their lives ruined.
Well, you can't blame yourself, you were just a kid.
Poole made me feel like it was all my fault.
Well, it wasn't. And if Billy's feeling the same way, then maybe he needs to know he's not the only one.
Any news?
Yeah, well, Ben's out of danger, but he's still very poorly.
I should have listened.
What's wrong with him?
The consultant's going to come out and explain everything.
Please, Dr. Bell, I need to know.
Well, they've got to run a few more tests, but at the moment it looks as if he's suffering from a congenital condition that's affecting his heart and lungs.
Was it something I did when I was pregnant? But I stopped smoking.
No, he was born with it. It's nothing that you did.
So, when I was looking after him, it wasn't just normal coughing.
No, it was like a warning. But if Ben continues to have breathing difficulties, it could be more serious.
But he's just a baby.
But, you know, he's strong. And it looks as if we caught it in time, which means that he should respond well to drug treatment and to physiotherapy to help with any weakness in his muscles. But he'll need constant monitoring.
Of course.
So you'll probably need to get a place of your own.
Well, I can help organise that.
Oh, and he'll also need an oxygen supply, you know, in case he has another attack.
Oh, she can't be expected to cope with all that, not on her own.
I'll do what I have to. Now I know what's wrong, I can deal with it.
What about Ben? What kind of life is he going to have, poor little mite?
Oh, well, you know, kids adapt. And he's already shown us that he's a fighter. Takes after his mum.
What's going to happen to him?
He's admitted to assaulting a prisoner. He'll be suspended, pending a criminal investigation.
Yeah, but Pooh wasn't just any prisoner. No, it's no wonder Halliday lost it.
I agree. I'm just not sure a disciplinary panel will see it like that.
Yeah, well, at least the court case can be reinstated now if Halliday gives evidence about what happened to him.
And what evidence? It'll be his word against Pooh's.
You know what? It's out in the open, so maybe Halliday can start healing and help Billy Jenkins out.
How's the little boy?
Oh, he's out of danger.
That's good. If it wasn't for your quick thinking...
Oh, Melody, could I have a couple of words with you, please, in my office? Tell me, would a paediatrician have diagnosed Ben's condition? After doing the right tests, yeah. It's difficult to diagnose. You were already on the right track? Yeah, I saw something similar in my training. Well, that's very lucky for Ben and for us. Julia, about earlier, I'm not going to apologise. Good. But I was rude to you. Melody, you were fighting your corner for a patient. Do you think I haven't had the same battles with George and Nick and Jimmy? I don't know. Well, of course I have. And if I didn't have to butt heads with the medical staff sometimes, I would be worried that one of us wasn't doing our job properly. I see this as a sign that you're growing in confidence. I think that's cause for celebration, don't you?
I don't know about you, but I could do with a drink.
I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Well, friends can have drinks, can't they?
Yeah, but can you be sure it'll stay at one drink?
Can you?
To be honest, no. And anyway, you've made up your mind, you're going away, so can we not make this any more painful than it has to be?
Sometimes I don't know if I'm dreaming or not.
If only she knew what a despicable little coward you are.
Electricity bill unpaid, credit cards unpaid!
But why are you so convinced that you're still dreaming?
I'll tell you when I see him in next dream.
Next on BBC One Scotland, the race is on to save more innocent victims. Dr. Sloan's in the thick of it in another explosive episode of Diagnosis Murder.